Oh no.
My friends!
Your friends? Someone needs to explain to her what friend means.
What do you want? I'm sorry I bit you and pulled your hair.
Even though you call me crazy.
Punched you in the face. Apology not accepted.
Myrtle.
Now get out of my way before I run you over. Ah! I got a new dog. His name is Stitch. That is the ugliest thing I have ever saw. Yeah.
You are the ugliest thing I've ever saw.
Ew, get it away from me.
This is a perfect example of the interaction between Lilo's conscious self and her shadow. Lilo at first tries to apologize and de-escalate the situation with her so-called friend, but when her attempts are rejected, guess who steps in? Stitch. The shadow, the one that can do all of the forbidden things she cannot do when threatened. So Lilo gives him control, and for a moment here we see her empowered, as Stitch has given her a metaphorical power to push back. Of course, this type of behavior is not ideal. This is very aggressive, but it is part of the process of finding balance. The shadow represents repressed feelings like anger and rebellion, but also the unfairness of how nobody acknowledges their loss. The world already moved on. So through this process, Lilo is starting to learn how to navigate these impulses and hurts, leading toward shadow integration. Go, Stitch! Yeah, but don't go too far. Not that you could, anyway. You see how restless he is? Look at that.
It's nice to live on an island with no large cities.
Well, there you go, you killed him. Interesting.
Are you okay?
Now, the problem with the shadow self is that it always tries to run, hide, and chase something, which is why it should never be in charge. Stitch relentlessly seeks more. More destruction, more chaos, bigger cities, symbolizing how the shadow is never truly satisfied when suppressed. It looks outward for answers because once the shadow is deemed unacceptable, the individual may lose confidence in being a good person. They become hyper-aware of which traits they show and which to conceal, fearing others will see their bad side. In reality, the shadow craves inner acceptance and validation, but how can one seek that when their belief in their own goodness is shattered? How do you accept the shadow when you think that's what's wrong with you? And that's how validation seeking begins. Lilo, content with her island, represents the self that expresses gratitude and fulfillment. It is a cute way to acknowledge the early stages of individuation, where the tension between her conscious self and shadow starts to surface. Okay, it's time or not. It's not time. Come on, Stitch. Collaborate. Never mind. Dude! He looks so cool. Brain freeze! I swear, Stitch is my spirit animal. Impressive. You know, when I was small, I almost burned my grandma's kitchen. Yeah, there you go. I'm there. I'm flashbacks.
This is you. This is your badness level.
Yeah.
It's unusually high for someone your size. We have to fix that.
Now, Lilo understands she cannot let Stitch in charge all the time, so she tries at first to control him by educating and punishing him to make him obey, but this obviously doesn't work and he retaliates. In real life, this is like when someone struggles with anger. Lilo's approach to manage that anger is to make her shadow feel ashamed or embarrassed by the outburst and seek to control this aspect of herself by imposing strict rules. But those strict rules are often unachievable or unrealistic or driven by a perfectionism that the individual has. And when they inevitably fail to meet those high standards, they may punish themselves through self-criticism, guilt, or self-imposed consequences as a means of exerting control over their shadow self. This is when it becomes a power struggle, right? You don't want that. Since the shadow relies on survival, it has to play nice with the self from time to time because the outside world can destroy it. But it is still a shadow, annoying, angry, and obnoxious.
David! I got a new dog!
Oh, wait. You sure it's a dog?
This is the only acceptable reaction.
He called before he got ran over. Yum!
How's it? Nani?
Did you catch fire again?
Nani, don't be so negative.
Listen, I was wondering, if you're not doing anything this...
David, I told you I can't. I got a lot to do with.
Have responsibilities.
I know, but I just figured you might need some
You
time.
smell like a lawnmower. Look, I I gotta go. The kid at table 3 is throwing poi again. Maybe some other time.
Poor Nani. Poor Nani, poor David.
Don't worry. She likes her butt in fancy air. I know. I read her diary.
Whoa.
She thinks it's fancy?
I really like how David understands Nani's responsibilities and doesn't push her more than necessary. He tries to make it know he wants to spend time with her, not just because he likes her, but to help her through this period as well. He's funny and shy, but that doesn't stop him from joking or from asking her out. And to be very honest, the way he deals with rejection in this scene is very attractive.
Who wants to work at this stupid, fakey luau anyway? Come on, Lilo.
Ah, this is really bad timing.
Did you lose your job because of Stitch and me?
Nah, the manager's a vampire. And he wanted me to join his legion of the undead.
Another great answer from Nani. She never puts blame on Lilo. That's a very good thing.
It's not an angel, Lilo. I don't even think it's a dog. We just have to take him back.
He's just cranky because it's his bedtime. Hey, what are you doing?
Look at him, Lilo. He's obviously mutated from something else. We have to take him back.
He was an orphan and we adopted him! What about Ohana?
He hasn't been here that long.
Neither have I. Dad said Ohana means family.
Huh?
Ohana means family. Family means
Nobody gets left behind.
Or
Forgotten. I know. I hate it when you use Ohana against me.
Smart girl. In this scene, the shadow self is dangerously close to being separated from the self, and you can see their link when Lilo points out she's also been in the family for a short while, like Stitch. This moment shows why Nani is better suited as a sister than a mother, by the way. A parent might look at Lilo's shadow and tell her that her feelings are unacceptable and that she needs to stop it right now, leading to more suppression, of course, but not Nani. She tries to reason with Lilo, but Lilo appeals to her sister's heart, the heart of an orphan who understands loneliness, the heart of a person who could never contribute into making someone else an orphan, not even Stitch. In this scene, the shadow is accepted because it's seen as part of the family, surprising even Stitch himself. I mean, he's loud, rude, and impulsive, but the shadow is part of who we are. We must learn to accept it with warmth and gratitude because that means fully accepting and loving ourselves. And this is a great beginning. Damn, David, that was raw.